Welcome to the 22nd episode of Hot Boxing Talk, South Africa's very own online boxing talk show. There's a super fight happening on the 4th of December between Takalani Ndlovu and Tshifhiwa Munyai. So Hot Boxing Talk caught up with both their trainers and the fighters themselves. And of course, don't forget we had our weekly chat with Cyril Lahong and Hayden Jones. This is the 22nd episode of Hot Boxing Talk. We are at the Boxfit gym here on Hot Boxing Talk, and I'm speaking to Harry McCordy, former professional fighter, very good professional fighter, contrary to what many people think, and former multiple world champion Takalani, the Panther Ndlovu. Gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to the show. I wanted to get you guys in because on the 4th of December, it is a humdinger of a fight. You've got Tshifhiwa Munyai and this man over here fighting for the vacant WBF Featherweight Championship of the World. And it's a great local matchup. Forget about the title on the line. This is a great fight between great warriors that are going to be contesting to see who's going to be the best on the 4th of December. Harry, let me start with you. Takalani is a veteran in boxing. You'd accept it, but so is Munyai. How do you see this fight panning out? Because you fought Munyai in London several years ago and you lost over 8 rounds. You're training Takalani now to go up against the guy that you lost against. Tell us about your preparations for this fight.
Firstly, the loss to Munyai, I'd say, Colin, I only had 3 days to get ready for that fight. I didn't even train for that fight. I had to go make the weight. So the only time I had was to make the weight, you know. And after the fight, Tshifhiwa also confessed to me that he thought he lost the fight, you know. But the reason he took that fight, he was, he was running out of opponents. He ran out of opponents at bantamweight. So he moved up to feather. And you know, I was one of the few guys that were available to fight him. But coming back to him and Taki, look, you know, Taki is on another level. I respect Munyai. I think he's a great boxer, but you know, there's something called world-class punching power, and that's what Taki's got. And then he's got the experience, and then he's such a, you know, he's such a good representative of the sport in many ways, you know. So I know Tshifhiwa thinks that Taki is on his way out and this is the best time, but I think Taki has looked after himself and he's still got a few years left in him, and it's going to show on the night.
Taki, let me ask you, I mean, Harry's your new trainer. Harry's a veteran as well in boxing. He's been in boxing many years. What's it like being trained by Harry, first and foremost? I'm sure you guys are friends outside of this business called boxing, but what's it like being trained by Harry?
No, it's a good feeling. One thing I like with him, because the most thing that I think of boxing now, he knows them. And for me, we don't struggle much because we talk the same language. You know?
Now let's talk about you and Tshifhiwa. Have you guys ever sparred previously over the years in South African boxing?
Yeah, well, I think once or twice while we were still in Bronx with First Freedom, came there for sparring. But it was not that, you know, we had just a few rounds. That was that.
So here's a question that I'm going to ask you. Who got the better of who in sparring when you guys did spar?
You know what, you know, that is, we can say it's water under the bridge, you know.
So you're not going to commit whether you got the better or he got the better?
Because we only had, I think, 3 rounds, you know.
3 rounds,
that
okay.
Can't tell anything now.
And was that because maybe you thought maybe down the line the two of you might maybe engage in a contest?
No, for sure. You know what, for me, you know, you know what, in South African boxing, you know, there's so many fighters that we always meet, we always gel together, sit and talk, but back of my mind, I know one of the guys will fight one of these days.
So I started this interview with both you gentlemen saying that you're a veteran in boxing, you accept that. What do you want for your career, as your career is winding down in the sport of boxing? What do you want for your career now? Obviously you've got this fight coming up, obviously you want to win, but after that, beyond that, what do you want for your career?
No, well, I can say boxing's my life, you know. The sporting code, the training facility and everything. I've got so many plans under the pipeline, you know. For me, it's just to get back to the sport, because this is what I know, basically.
Are you suggesting you might become a trainer?
Both.
Trainer,
everything in boxing, what you can say about boxing.
Harry, you had a bit of a hard luck career. You know, you fought some good fighters that went on to become world champions and so forth. You know, you're doing really well as a trainer here in South African boxing. And you and Warren Hulley actually, funny enough, are friends. There's no bad blood or anything.
No.
Make a prediction for Takalani Ndlovu against Tshifhiwa Munyai.
I'm not even gonna, you know, hesitate, and this is not a joke. We're stopping the guy. I don't think. I'm still to see a featherweight locally a featherweight who can hit as hard as this guy. And I know Tshifhiwa won't take this guy's power. And not disrespect to anyone, you know, both Warren and Munyai, you know, they're good people. I like them to bits, but you know, it's a business that we're in, it's the head business, and I know Taki will take him out. I can't tell you what round, but I know he's definitely going to take him out.
Takalani, your prediction for this fight. Tell us how it's going to go.
You know what? I don't predict. You know, I've been asked so many times over the years the same question. But you know, for me, when I'm in the ring, I just enjoy myself, and knockout comes the way it is.
Family man, proud father, great boxer, Harry Makori, Takalani, the Panther Ndlovu, right here on Hot Boxing Talk. It's that part of the show where we speak to the two gentlemen, Hayden and Cyril, and there's a lot to talk about. There's so much boxing that's been going on and forthcoming as well. Let's talk about last weekend, gentlemen. Miguel Cotto losing a wide points decision against Saul Canelo Alvarez. First and foremost, the right guy won, yes? Yes. Scorecards, talk to me.
117, 111 to Canelo for me.
Yeah, I think I have it about the same. 117, 112 maybe.
So 8-4.
Yeah, but I just thought the judges were a bit overboard.
Why did Cotto lose?
He was the smaller guy. Cotto lost because he's a smaller guy. He really did box really well. It's just that they had a game plan, but he was just too small for Canelo in the night.
And that was the difference in the contest. You had a bigger, stronger guy dominating a smaller, competitive guy as well. Miguel Cotto, what does the future hold for him? My opinion is I think he should probably go back down to 147. I think he can make welterweights. But what does the future, in your opinion, hold for him?
I think he can make welterweight, but I don't think he wants to. I think he could probably go down to 154. I think that, obviously Austin Trout beat him, but that he could still be a champion at 154.
Canelo versus Triple G, is it going to happen?
If you looked at the way Oscar De La Hoya was squinching in the background when Canelo was like, yes, I want to take a GGG, you can see that fight might not happen even next year. They're probably going to try and make him get older and older and older and then finally take that fight.
You know, I'm in love with Triple G. So the question is, if he fights Canelo, it might be competitive, but does he have a chance of winning?
I think Triple G is just too strong for him.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a rhetorical question, isn't it? And moving along, this week we heard the announcement of David Haye coming back. So here it is. Can you imagine if Tyson Fury beats Vladimir and he fights David Haye in the UK?
That'll be a Wembley Stadium fight. Because Tyson Fury can sell a hell out of a fight, just like George Groves did.
And pop, because it's never going to happen. Or is it going to happen? Can Fury beat Klitschko?
I don't think Fury can beat Klitschko, but I think Fury can still be made either way.
So here's the thing, in a year's time, Anthony Joshua keeps winning. How about Haye versus Joshua?
No, man, Joshua's just too big for David Haye. He's just way too big and strong.
So Cyril, you agree he's special?
He's special, yeah, definitely.
Elena Alvarez is fighting Malawian Isaac Chilembe, who's based in South Africa, in a final eliminator for the WBC Light Heavyweight Championship against Adonis Stevenson. How does that go for Chilembe?
You know, I'd love to say Chilembe wins this, but I don't know. I think Alvarez is just brilliant.
Your opinion?
I think Alvarez is going to take this fight, so...
There's a lot of local stuff happening as well. There's a show in Cape Town and also East London. There are 3 title fights for Ngaba Promotions. And then, of course, we've got Molasani Nombevo and Dongeni fighting Jasper Soroke. And we've also got V12. There's a lot of boxing to close the year here in South African boxing. There's another fight that we need to talk about. And we actually did a feature on both fighters. Tshifhiwa Munyai is fighting Takalani Ndlovu for the vacant WBA Featherweight Championship of the world. Forget about the title. I mean, a belt's important. But that's a natural super fight for South African boxing. Who's your pick and why?
I'd go with Munyai. I think Munyai is just a bit better. Although I like Takalani, but I think Munyai wins this.
Your opinion on that fight?
That's going to be a great fight.
No, Hayden. I want you to commit. Who do you think's going to win?
This will be a close fight to Munyai.
Close fight to Munyai. Well, that's it. The two gentlemen have spoken right here on Hot Boxing Talk. The two gentlemen join us here on Hot Boxing Talk, the former IBO Junior Featherweight Champion of the world, Tshifhiwa Munyai. Welcome to the Hot Boxing Talk. And his trainer and manager, Warren Huddy. Gentlemen, welcome to the show. Warren, let me start with you. We've got a very exciting fight on the 4th of December for the WBF Featherweight Championship of the world. It's Munyai versus Takalani Ndlovu. Your thoughts on that fight?
Well, I think it's a good matchup. I think that it's the type of fight which can generate a lot of excitement in South Africa. There's a tendency recently for the top fighters to avoid fighting each other, and because of that, we find that a lot of the elite level fighters' careers are not moving forward because there's not enough promoters in the country to be able to promote each and every one of them. And here we have a fight where you have two top level fights. Tshifhiwa, who is on top of his game at the moment, who's won a plethora of world titles. We have Takalani, who in the past has won the highest honors in boxing. I think he's held the IBF title.
Correct.
On 3 occasions, WBF title, and
the IBF.
And IBF.
Yes.
So I think it's quite a good matchup. At the same time, I think that Tshifhiwa has most of the advantages coming into the fight.
Hold on 1 second. I'm not there yet. I want to get the champ's opinion on this fight. You guys have sparred together at Bronx Gym several years ago. I actually put Takalani on the spot and I said to him, who got the better of who in that sparring? He said, Colin, I only sparred 3 or 4 rounds with him and that was it. I want to get your opinion. You guys sparred. Who got the better of who?
I did get the better of him. Because the sparring ended, I think we were meant to go 4 rounds. Then the sparring stopped.
Stopped
at
after
round
2.
3.
Yeah.
Stopped after 2.
Yeah.
Tell me, you started your career as a bantamweight. You, like Warren says, you've won a host of titles. Your opinion on fighting in the featherweight division, you feel comfortable as a featherweight now?
Very comfortable. I started my career as a flyweight.
As a flyweight, wow,
And I
okay.
became a champion at bantamweight. And then I think the better, when I'm moving up the divisions, I get more stronger. And then the other thing is when you lose a lot of weight, you can't take punches.
Warren, now let me ask you, technically in this fight, tactically, I mean, I'm not asking you to give away your game plan. How do you see this fight unfolding? Obviously you guys are confident, otherwise you wouldn't have taken the contest. How do you feel that this fight's going to go?
Well, I think for the first 3 or 4 rounds, it would be a very competitive fight. But beyond that, I think that Tshifhiwa's speed, his youth, his agility, his ring generalship, his punching power would get the better. He's going to start getting on top after 3 or 4 rounds, and I see the end coming within under 7 rounds.
Tshifhiwa, your prediction on this contest?
Same thing, we were working on a good strategy. I think
You don't have to agree with your trainer, you know that.
No,
I mean, you have an opinion too.
that's the thing. I'm just going to go in there and boxing. That's what I do best. And if I want to go forward, I can still go forward.
It's the atomic spider. Sorry, you want to carry on?
No, it's okay.
You done? You're within 7 rounds of fights over, you reckon?
I think so. I believe so. Because I'm really hitting hard as a featherweight. And I've got speed that everyone can say that my champion speak. I'm faster than him, I'm better than him, and this is my era. But now, honestly speaking, this is my time. He had his time back then when I was fighting the Congos and them, but this is my time now.
It is the atomic spider alongside with trainer boxing champions Warren Halley, Tshifhiwa Munyai. They catch him on the 4th of December when they engage war in one of the super fights of South African boxing for 2015, right here on Hot Boxing Talk. So that's the end of the 22nd episode of Hot Boxing Talk. Catch us for the last episode for 2015 next week, which will be the 23rd episode. So from myself, Colin Nathan and Hayden Jones, don't forget to subscribe to Hot Boxing Talk. We'll see you soon.